You're looking a bit sheepish. Cat got your tongue? Hmm. Well, good evening, everybody. Happy Wednesday night. We are here somewhat live, aren't we, Ginger?
They're mostly alive.
Mostly live.
Mostly alive.
As you all know, JP is out making the bacon, making the donuts to bring home, playing a live show tonight in an undisclosed location. And he's playing again tomorrow night, isn't he?
Tomorrow night and the night after that.
There you go. So unfortunately, y'all are stuck with the lovely Ginger and I for however long you want to hang out tonight. And what are we going to do, Ginger?
I don't know. I mean, if people want to ask you questions, you know things about stuff.
I know some things about some stuff.
I don't know a lot of things about music stuff, but I know stuff about other things.
She knows a lot of things about a lot of stuff.
But not much about one thing.
Okay. Well, should we get somebody to read the sponsor list? Who can read it online? Somebody could type it.
Why don't you just hold it up to the camera?
I could.
Oh, we probably shouldn't actually.
Yeah, we probably should. But as you all know, the wonderful sponsors for this show and JP are Boucher Guitars, Levy's custom leather straps made in Antigonish, Nova Scotia, G&G Music, which if you haven't seen the short that JP did this afternoon, it's a good one live from G&G. Fantasy Music in downtown Halifax, Spring Garden Road, where we were last week with Stephen McNeil, our musical premier. K&K Pickups, Gallagher Guitars, Recording King, Alvarez Iari, Yamaha, who make everything under the sun, James Martin Instruments, Audio Sprockets, James May, D'Addario, Canada, Bracos Guitars, Josh Hosh Guitars, Apollo Picks, to the Infinity and Beyond, Tone Right, Close Guitars, and that's about it. That's what we got. So that's the business out of the way. We've got Shetland in here trying to sit in for JP.
Mm-hmm. He's doing his best.
Doing his best.
He's not real vocal, though.
No, he's not going to say a lot. Not going to say a lot.
So I don't know. Let's see. There's so much in the way of questions. Anybody have a question that Chris could answer? He's got a reasonable amount of guitar-y knowledge.
I do have lots of electronics knowledge where it comes to guitars. A little bit of construction knowledge and woodworking knowledge where it comes to guitars. So any of those questions, I can try and mess up for you, for sure.
Oh, Jeff has a super chat. Jeff Gallant.
Hey, Jeff. Happy Wednesday, buddy. Cheers. Fiddly-dee potatoes.
All those things. If I get you some clams, can you fix me up with a tuning and adjustment to my old Fender F310 on discount?
What kind of clams are we talking about? Are we talking about the clams?
Some actual clams or like money clams?
Well, when we're generally talking about clams from PEI, we're talking about the bar clams,
The actual
bottled
clams, yeah.
bar clams. But there are the clams, which are the bootleg clams, which is what you want, and then there's the store-bought clams.
Right.
But yeah, we can certainly try and we can work something out there for sure. A couple bottles of clams could go a long way. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, John is on stage right now. He's doing sound check, so we were going to get him to call in, but he's doing sound check. So, yeah, unfortunately, he cannot.
Yeah, we were just FaceTiming with him, and I think they might have been running a little bit behind. He was just about ready to go in and do sound check. So it's going to be a multi-fiddle frenzy by the end of the night up there. So redonkulous. Jack and Jill are here with us. They're over on the sofa in their normal spot. We tried to get Jack to sit in my chair, but
he wasn't having it.
He wasn't having it. He wanted to go to the sofa so he can put his feet up and snore.
We have a super chat from Ted Whitmore.
Hey, Ted. How are you doing tonight? Where's Ted Whitmore?
I'm not sure.
He's not new.
He's not new. I just don't know where he lives. So he says, my first song title, Oh Darlin' Darlin', is that my name on your thingy?
Is that my name on your thingy?
That's,
I don't quite know how to take that.
is that the name? Is that the actual title? The whole thing is the title of the song? I'm not sure.
Is that the name on your thingy?
Is that my name on
Is
your
that the
thingy?
name that you tattooed on your thingy? I don't know.
I just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Bram Avery has a question for you.
Oh, hey, Bram. Happy Wednesday, buddy.
Do you have a preferred method of repairing cracks on cedar tops? I have two 8-inch cracks that run across a couple of braces that I'd like to stop from spreading.
I personally don't, because I'd probably take something like that to somebody that's a specialist, but the preferred way would be to get it bound from underneath. Good luthier can do that no problem. They've got cauls and jacks and everything that they can get in there with, and they can carefully take some fairly small bindings and just bind across the cracks, assuming that they're not too far open. But that's the preferred method that I know of for doing something like that. Cedar is very open grain, very soft, so it can be more susceptible to cracking than some other woods. But they sound fantastic. I love cedar top guitars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A question from Caleb Hawkins.
Hey, Caleb.
Have you ever used Glue Boost to repair a cracked acoustic guitar? They claim it will play nice with the poly finish like on a Taylor.
I have not, and I'm not familiar with that product. Is it, what was it?
Glue Boost.
Glue Boost. No, have to look that one up. Anytime you're doing a repair like that, a crack repair, or where a binding's come loose or a brace, you really have to be super, super, super careful that you're not changing anything structurally or over gluing, because you can change the way the top is going to ring, or the back is going to ring in the guitar. So those type of things, they can be pretty fiddly repairs, and unless somebody's really good at doing them, then they can. I've seen a lot of horror stories looking inside guitars. Let's put it that way.
Joe Cormier has a question.
Joe who?
Cormier? Do you know him?
Who's that guy?
You talked to him before?
Brother Joe, how are you?
Chris, your thoughts on the Century guitar?
Don't have any.
None.
No, don't have any thoughts on the Century guitar.
I don't even know what that is. Let's see. Oh, Jason Tremblay.
Hey, Jason.
Do you have a favorite boutique pickup for electric guitars?
For electric guitars, or for an acoustic electric guitar?
It just says electric.
Just says electric. I do not for an electric, because I deal mainly with flat top acoustics, as those are what most of my clientele and my friends are playing. So for electric guitars, I don't dabble in it too much. So I don't have any kind of faves for putting in those.
Oh, we have a super chat from Sonia H.
Sonia H, is she new?
Nope. You're taking over JP's job of guessing if everybody's new.
How are you, Sonia? Happy Wednesday night.
Hi, Chris. My Ovation guitar truss rod doesn't turn. There is a bullet nut at the top that spins, but the rod won't turn. Doesn't take a hex key. What to do?
Take it into somebody who knows how much strain to put on that. So if you can't turn it yourself, you don't want to force it. You want to take it into somebody that is familiar with Ovations or flat tops in general, and get them to see if they can get the rod free and turning for you, or the nut free and turning for you. Yeah. If you try and do it yourself and you don't quite know how much pressure is too much pressure, then you can cause some damage, or you may move something you don't want to move.
We have another super chat from Ted Whitmore.
Hey, Ted.
Said, so like, hey, Big Chris, my fellow ex-pilot, How do you like Uncle Doug's YouTube channel?
Fellow ex-pilot, I don't know how to take that.
I guess we're currently ex-pilots.
Well, I guess we are
We're
currently ex-pilots.
pilots on hold.
Yeah, we are pilots on hold.
Pause pilots. I don't
Paused. Unwinged pilots right now.
Grounded pilots.
What was the question, Ginger?
How do you like Uncle Doug's YouTube channel?
I don't know of it. I would have to look that up.
We'll have to
Do you know
check
what
it
it
up.
is?
I don't know what that is.
Uncle Doug's YouTube channel. We'll have to watch that and
Uncle
see. Is it a pilot channel?
I'm assuming it has something to do with that,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
What did Ted used to fly? Let us know
He
what.
told us once. I
Yeah.
can't remember. Maybe he'll tell us again.
I think Ted was the one who was right on the airplane questions the last time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I think. Oh, JP has signed in, and he's now
Oh,
commenting.
the big man is here.
Yeah. So
Yep.
every comment that has his name on it is actually him now, and not me. He says you couldn't fix a brand new tricycle.
Well, that's because a brand new tricycle wouldn't need fixing until you got your freaking hands on it. There, big wheels.
Tried to ride it down the road.
Yeah, and tipped over.
Had some spring gear issues.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
I guess we know that sound check is
Sound check
done.
must be over.
Yeah. Yeah, there was no fixing what he was doing, so they just booted him off the stage.
Gave up and said, "That's broken. Just go away."
Yep. Yep.
Oh dear.
It's all falling apart when you're not here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cam has a super chat.
Hey, Cam, brother.
Can you play his theme song there, Chris?
Cheers. I cannot play your theme song.
You gonna give it a go?
Mm-mm.
A little try? A little
No,
crack at
I
it?
refuse.
No?
Play your own bloody theme song, Cam. You're not golfing tonight, I take it?
I guess not.
I guess the tournament wrapped up the other week, didn't it?
Or did he just get kicked out?
Well, he told us it wrapped up. He might have just gotten kicked out. That sounds more plausible based on some of the pictures we saw coming through by text, which, well, we won't talk about those pictures, will we, Cam? But we have those pictures. In fact, we've blown them up and printed them out, and we have them on the wall here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some pretty bad bar etiquette on Cam's part, eh, Ginger?
I tell you.
I tell you.
Can't take him anywhere.
No.
But he does have a question.
Okay.
For live shows, when it comes to gear, what would be your preferred setup, soup to nuts? Mic, cables, PA, DI, box, etc., etc. Any tips?
For a smaller gig, like say in a hotel ballroom or something like that, I take it you're not talking about a touring rig. You're talking about a one-man kind of setup. There's plenty of awesome powered boxes out there, QSC, Electro Voice, Yamaha. There's all kinds of great PAs. I don't know if there's just, the technology is so advanced now that they're all pretty good. So a couple small powered boxes, 15 and a horn, some like powered stage monitors, and again, you can use an old analog console. You can use a little digital console. You can have an interface where you can just mix it right from your mic stand if you're really a one-man kind of gig, you can mix it right off your iPad and control that interface. So you can control everything. You can do front of house from center stage if you like. But there's just so much gear out there. It's hard to pick something that I'd say would be my favorite gear. There's lots of stuff to use. Lots of good powered speakers with digital audio now and little consoles. You can have compression, gating, limiting, graphic EQ per input, per output. Like there's so many tools in those toolboxes now as opposed to the old days. Better generally on smaller gigs, you try and keep it simpler and let the room acoustics do their thing and just sort of fill holes. DIs, I like good DIs, like the radial JDIs with a good Jensen transformer in them if you're going to use a DI. So try and stay away from the real cheap generic stuff with a itty bitty little transformer in it that sounds like crap. Microphones, I love Shure Beta 87s for vocals. It's a condenser, which some people kind of tend to shy away from. I find that I like the sensitivity, and it doesn't sound like an SM57, for example, where it sounds like you're singing through a blanket. So I'm a fan of condensers, just maybe because I've been using them for so long. And I typically try and stay away from powered mixers and passive speakers these days because the technology for the powered boxes has advanced so much. They're absolutely reliable. Most of them sound great. They've got some of them have lots of features. Some of them have little mixers built into the back of them. So that's the kind of stuff that I would like if I was doing a small gig in a little hall or something like, or a ballroom or something like that. Big productions like touring and stuff, totally different animal, different snack bracket, and different requirements. So yeah, that's it for that.
Alrighty. Jeff Galland has a super chat.
Hey Jeff.
Hey Beans.
Hey Beans.
He says, in lieu of Cam's theme song, can you sing a very sentimental version of Mr. Potato Head?
I don't know the Mr. Potato Head theme song.
I didn't know Mr. Potato Head had a theme song.
I never had one as a kid. I'm sure there's a commercial for him.
Hey Jill.
Beans is on patrol here.
Come here, Jill. Come on up. Come on. No, just wanna linger and walk. Okay. That's fine too. Good.
I take it that JP signed out again.
I haven't seen too much of him in a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So he might have left.
Oh, do we have a visitor there, Beans?
Jill's
Sweet
guarding
baby
me,
Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I know Jill. We have a super chat from Mark Smith.
Hey, Mark Smith.
When you're restringing a slotted headstock on a Boucher, for example, is there a right and wrong way to do it, or is it similar to a standard tuning post?
Roughly similar to a standard tuning post. Different players have their own distinct favorite ways of doing it. Some people have different ways they like to secure the string or not the string so it doesn't slip. But generally, depending on the string, you want to have anywhere from, say, 2 to 4 wraps around the post. And I generally find the less complex procedure that you use, the cleaner it is, in most situations is better. I've seen some complex sort of people like to do loops and knots of various kinds, and that creates a pressure point on the string, and that can lead to string failure. Generally, you want to have the string coming off just as it rolls over the post. You don't want the strings piling up or the wraps piling up. So I don't work a great deal with slotted heads. For touring, it was pretty much a standard geared tuner. So, but that's a good question. JP may have a preferred method that
I know he does do something differently with his slotted headstock than his other one.
And it can depend on the tuner, because there are different styles of tuner and axle in the peg head for a slotted peg head. There is something going on outside that we are not privy to.
Oh, he said, is your phone on, Chris?
Nope.
Oh, turn
You
your
have
phone
my
on.
phone.
Oh, I do. Turn your phone on and he'll answer the question.
Okay.
We're going to get a call in from an expert.
Okay.
We're back.
Okay.
All right, go sit down.
I'll saunter back in. How's that?
Well, it's not frozen.
Okay.
There. Okay, I think
Are
we're
we
back.
making it out?
Oh, wait. Working now. Yep, it's back.
All right.
Fixed it. Yay.
Good job there, Ginger.
Didn't have to bail altogether.
No, that's good.
It's good. It's good.
That's our wonderful rural internet out here.
Yo.
Yeah.
So no FaceTime while streaming.
Right.
New rule.
Okay, new rule. Phone on airplane mode. That's another new rule. So that's good.
Jiffy wrote it. Yeah.
Yeah. So did that explanation get out in one form or the other?
I don't think so.
So essentially what JP said that Robin had told him is when you loop the string around, you put the string so that it's in between two of the windings. And that way when the windings tighten up, they'll anchor the string from pulling back through. So I have seen it done that way, and that's not a stressful way to do it. That works actually really well, and it's a cool way to do it.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
That was a very
stress-inducing
answer
that
to
took
question.
10 or 12 minutes, didn't it, for all that?
People are coming back. Okay, we're good. Okay. All right. So now I got to find all my questions again here.
Okay.
There's one. Where was it?
Here, I'll play an intermission.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
There's actually live crickets outside that are very close to those crickets, aren't there?
They are. They're quite lovely, actually.
They're about the same tone outside, too.
Yeah. All right, so I found it.
All right.
So question from T-Bone.
Hey, T-Bone.
What causes my Fender Cyber twin knobs to crack and pop?
The pots are dirty. So it's generally something that happens with older equipment or equipment that doesn't get used all that often. But the potentiometers, the actual electronic elements inside that are adjusting your volume and your tone, and it happens to switches as well, the contacts inside those get tarnished because a lot of times they're plated in silver, and if you can imagine a silverware set tarnishing, that's exactly what happens inside of the contacts. Also, if it's not so bad in most instruments, but if you get dust and dirt in there over time, that settles in there, and it also just keeps those contacts from working properly. And when you move them, they are making contact and breaking contact, making contact, breaking contact. They're not operating in a smooth manner that they're supposed to. So a lot of people tend to spray stuff like electronics, some spray electronics cleaner in those, and a lot of those have a residual lubricant in them that all it does is really attract more dust and dirt. And there are some specialty products like Deoxit and Cramelin that guys like me in the electronics trade have known about for years, but spraying anything in a fader or a switch or a pot can oftentimes not solve the problem and lead to a whole other host of problems down the road. The best way I know to clean controls is, be it a switch or a potentiometer, I take it out, unsolder it, take it right out of the guitar or the whatever piece of electronics it's in, take it apart, and clean it by hand with some ketone or some alcohol, and properly condition the resistive element in the potentiometer with a little bit of lubricant, and wipe it off and take it all, put it all back together and put it in. So you can buy, like I said, you can buy over-the-counter stuff in aerosol cans. Don't really recommend them because you're just going to, it's going to end up everywhere, and it's going to attract dirt and dust, and it's going to migrate off into everywhere. But that's it would seem not intuitive, but if you only pick up your guitar once every 2 or 3 months or every 6 months, because you haven't moved any of the controls, when you move them, they can be crunchy and they can make pops and whistles and bangs and dropouts of the signal and stuff. So using something is every bit as important to exercising those controls and keeping them working properly as anything else, any kind of environmental stresses that it might see. So that's that one.
Mm-hmm. It is. Okay. Bruce Fiender. Fiender?
Fiender.
I know I say this one wrong all the time.
It's Fiender.
Finder? Okay.
Yeah.
How important would it be to use a preamp between the guitar and acoustic amp if I install a K&K Super Mini pickup?
to use a preamp between the guitar and an amplifier. What kind of amplifier are you speaking of? If it's a guitar amplifier, you wouldn't need a pickup. The gain stage in the front end of an amplifier is generally sufficient to amplify that K&K pickup. If you had something that was kind of mismatched, or the amp you were using was of a lower gain, you could use like just what comes to mind is a Baggs Acoustic DI, or any kind of that kind of similar item, which you can plug your guitar into, and that will usually give you an XLR output or a 1/4 inch output and give you some preamplification. But generally you shouldn't have to if you're using an amplifier that's suited for it. The K&K pickup is already at the right level.
Alrighty. We got a super chat from Cam.
Hey, Cam.
I use...
Damn, it's Cam. Cam Disaster.
You gonna write Cam a poem? A theme poem?
I could write him a haiku.
I don't know if I want you to read that out loud.
I don't know if we could read it.
Let's not.
Let's not.
I use QSC 12s or Fishman 330A. Can you explain pad, lift, notch, etc., and tips for getting the best sound out of a PA?
Okay, so a pad control is, you can think of it as a range switch. So if you're putting your guitar as an input into an amplifier or a mixer, and you strum your guitar and it peaks that channel, it totally overloads the channel, then you want to insert a pad. And a pad just means that it's going to change the range in that preamplifier section, or you'll find a pad control in a DI, and it will cut the signal down by a given amount in decibels. So depending on the product, that can change. But it's generally going to be an order of magnitude of 15 dB, somewhere in there, and it'll cut it down quite substantially. And then if you need more gain with the pad in, you can generally bring the gain on the channel or some other gain up to make up the difference and get it right where you want it. A lift switch, generally found on a DI box, a direct box, is to lift the ground. Generally, when you're working with different instruments on stage and different pieces of gear, not all gear is created equal. Not all gear is sometimes configured right or plugged in right. You can have all kinds of things happening, and if you get a ground loop between two things, you can have a 60 hertz buzz or hum in the signal that you're inputting. So if you hit the lift switch, that stands for ground lift, and all it's going to do is it's just going to lift the ground on that signal. And sometimes it'll cure the problem because it'll break the ground lift because there's two paths to ground. Now you've lifted the one from the instrument. Sometimes it won't make any difference because the actual problem is somewhere else. What was the other one, Ginger? There was pad, lift, and?
I have to scroll. Notch.
Notch. So notching refers to a filter, and a lot of stuff has either bass treble or bass mid and treble. A notch control is a sweepable filter. So it allows you, the notch filter will have a control that allows you to vary what frequency that notch filter is working at, so that you can, if you have, say, a peak in the response of your instrument, or whatever it is you're using that has a real hot spot, you can dial the notch filter around until you get that hot spot, and it will notch it out and take that frequency out. And you can, that's typically what a notch filter does. It's just a form of a parametric equalization control. So for larger mixers and stuff, you tend to have sweepable controls where you can move the frequencies around on those equalization controls and pick your own center point of the filter. And some of them have adjustable Q settings, so you can vary how wide the filter is from being quite wide, where it affects a lot of frequencies at once, to being like a notch, where it's just going to be very sharp. It affects a very small range of frequencies around the center point where you set it. And you can either have it peak the frequency up or notch it out if you're trying to take it out. So that's a notch, what a notch filter does.
There we go.
Yeah.
We got a couple more from Cam, a couple more super chats.
Holy Cam.
He says, where is JP playing tonight? And will he definitely be back next week?
Yeah, I know. It's pretty painful, isn't it, Cam? He's playing in an undisclosed location tonight. That's
the
all
general
we can,
Cape Breton area.
That's all we can tell you. In the general Cape Breton area. He's in the homeland this evening. So he will definitely be back next week, because if he's not, I'm not going to be here next week either.
We can only dress up Shetland once every few months.
Yeah, this is his one kitchen pass for the year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then he says, were you eating cake this evening? Because people are saying your face looks crummy.
Oh, whoa. Wow. That's as painful as it is sitting here watching me do this without JP. You big mook. You know, Cam could almost be Mr. Potato Head. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's got the right, he's from the right part of the country for that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Faux show. How are there no questions for you, Ginger?
Because I don't know things about stuff.
Yeah, but it could be like a free-for-all for asking Ginger questions. There's no pressure like to ask just musical questions. I would think that people would have like a ton of questions saved up that they've been going like, I wonder this about Ginger. I wonder that about Ginger. Like, what color shirt does she have on? Did she go swimming today? When is she going to be a pilot again?
They want to know if you live on a lake.
Well, we live on a lake.
What's it like after the camera shows up? We do have another super chat.
Yeah.
Before we get into all that, can you put a K&K Mini on an arch top blindfolded?
No, never. In fact, these glasses aren't even enough. I usually have a pair of magnifiers over these, plus a microscope and a large magnifier and mirrors and all kinds of lighting until the thing is just about to catch on fire. There's so much light to see it.
You're all kinds of blind.
Yeah, all kinds of blind. And don't worry, pilots don't really need to see outside the window.
We don't often look outside.
No, we never look out. Ginger and I never look outside, do we?
Not very often.
Not
just
very
for the
often.
landing bit.
Yeah, just the takeoff and landing bit. That's all.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
We have a question from Sean.
Hey, Sean.
How are acoustic guitars with a humbucker near the fingerboard braced differently than a normal acoustic? Thanks from Pennsylvania.
I can't really answer that for you because I'm not familiar enough with that.
Do you know what a humbucker is? Because I've never heard of such a thing.
Well, a humbucker is a style of pickup.
Oh, okay.
And the first guitar pickups were fairly rudimentary, and they were very susceptible to picking up hum and stray signals from like radio transmitters and neon lights in bars and transformers that might be in a building and stuff like that. And they designed humbucking pickups for electric guitars came along after a few years, and it's a way to wind the coil in the actual pickup so that it rejects noise. So that's what humbucking pickups are, Ginger.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Sean, that I couldn't answer your question specifically. I ended up answering Ginger. Still can't believe people aren't asking questions for you.
Well, we gotta get through all the tech questions. They're loving the tech side of things tonight.
Tech bit.
They're enjoying your specialty.
The fancy dissertation.
Yes.
On the wires.
Indeed. Herschel Rector has a question.
Hi, Herschel. How are you?
Do you repair many mandolins? Any opinions or trends you have seen that you care to tell us about?
No, I think the only mandolins that I've worked on recently are JP's like one time. Don't see much of them at all. I don't see a ton of instruments. It's generally for my musician friends that because I don't do this as a living anymore, it's just kind of a side gig or a hobby at this point where I'm flying for a living. I see a lot less instruments than I used to. So I generally don't see mandolins. If I did, it would most likely be for somebody looking to have a pickup put in one or something like that. Stretch it out, Beans. Stretch it out. Get cozy over there.
She's like, I finally, someone cleaned off the couches.
Someone cleaned off the couch and she can stretch out.
Yeah. JP went away and Ginger cleaned the studio. I can't find anything. A question from Michael Easter.
From who?
Michael Easter.
Hi, Michael. How are you?
How did you originally get into guitar teching?
Not by choice, sort of more by necessity, as a matter of fact. Because I was a electronics tech, and I was at different festivals or concerts and shows, and knew how all the equipment worked and was supposed to work, I was invariably shoved behind a console and working on the instruments because I was an electronics guy. And it just kind of grew out of there. I didn't go to any kind of formal training. I wouldn't refer to myself as a luthier at all. I would just, I know about electronics, and one thing led to another. So I used to be taken to festivals with a production company that I worked at as basically a security blanket. As if equipment broke, I was there to fix it. And just from the knowledge of how all that stuff worked and being to set it up properly, I solved a lot of problems before they happened. And I eventually just got stuck behind the consoles and started doing live sound, and one thing worked its way into another, and before you know it, I'm sleeping on a tour bus. So that's how that happened. Hello, Pumpkin. Really? Is he all right?
Oh. Jeff Gallant has a super chat. He's wondering how you didn't clue in earlier to his Mr. Potato Head comments. I guess he was always referring to Cam.
It was Cam, because I think I did call Cam Mr. Potato Head at one point when we were giving a jab or two at Cam. Do you have those clams yet, Jeff?
I think so. Oh, I missed one. Wow. Like me. A super chat from Mark Smith.
Mark Smith.
I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm loving Tech Bites with Chris. Very nice.
Tech Bites with Chris.
Maybe I'll have to make it a short.
Tech Sips with Chris. And Ginger.
Maybe Tech Bites could be a new short thing.
Tech
we do
Bites.
on the channel.
Tech shirts.
A tech shirt.
We're loving the whole shirt thing.
Well, you are.
They're pretty fun to make.
The shorts, yeah, they are.
The shorts are pretty fun to make.
Yeah.
It could go pretty wrong if we put them all online, because there's lots of ideas for useless shorts, isn't there, Ginger? Yeah.
Yep. Ocam has another super chat.
Okay.
What gauge string is on that Sigma D45 JP was playing on his channel today with the sock on the head? Well, we can't confirm that that's what that guitar is.
Yeah, we don't. How do you know that that's a Sigma? You don't. I'm looking at it right now, and I can't even confirm what it is.
It's still sitting here with a sock on it, so we don't even know what that thing is.
Yeah. And what was his question?
What gauge are the strings?
They look like lights.
Yeah, they probably are.
Yeah.
It's true to form.
From 6 feet away, I'd say they're almost 99.7% certainty they're lights.
I think he was just trying to get a sneaky way to confirm what guitar that might be. But
try again there, buddy. Try again.
No confirmation coming your way.
Back
Mr.
to the
Cam.
old torch there, Cam. You're not going to outfox us this time.
Almost got you. You didn't almost got anything.
Yeah. You got nothing, mister.
You ain't almost got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The dogs finally have someone to pay attention to them.
Yes, they're finally... Well, Jill's
the
now
dog
hiding under
is
the
here.
table.
Yeah.
She's being a little weirdo.
There's got to be at least one question for Ginger.
Way down here, I think there might be something.
Okay.
I don't know.
Like nothing creepy.
There's one that said, "What does Ginger look like?"
Oh,
Do you want to answer that, Chris?
yep. Well, I can tell you one thing for sure, and this is some inside information. She is a redhead.
This is true.
That
If I
is
can
true.
get, like,
Yep. I can confirm that right now. Can you put that over there? Just let me grab a hold of that thing. Oh, so delayed I can't even see. Okay.
I might get there eventually.
She's wearing a red t-shirt though. I can tell you that too. She is a little sunburned and befreckled because we may or may not have been swimming in the lake today.
It's possible. Yes, I'm a little bit peely from my sunburn.
You are peely. She tends to spontaneously combust at temperatures over 27 degrees
classic
Celsius.
Ginger.
Classic Ginger.
Burned by thinking about the sun.
Yeah. The only worst cases could be if she was from Newfoundland, because then that would drop it down to like spontaneous combustion at 21 degrees Celsius.
This is true.
Yeah.
Well, I have a fall planting season in the greenhouse. I'm planning on it. I'm certainly going to plant some garlic later. Dax, who's not on here tonight, but she has a bunch of garlic that she sells. She's from PEI, and she has a garlic store, and she sells seed garlic. So I'm going to get some from her, and I'm going to plant a bunch of garlic, and I might plant some turnips.
Do you plant those in the fall?
What, garlic?
Turnips.
Turnips, yeah. Turnips are a fall. They're a cold.
I did not know that. I'm enjoying one right now. Ow! Ow!
Yeah, but that's all as far as my planning goes. I might put something else in if I can find it, but
It's a very NPR question, isn't it? Yeah. What the fall planting schedule
fall
is in the
planting
greenhouse.
schedule?
Ginger's greenhouse is amazing. It was totally built by her out of old windows and corrugated plastic and all kinds of other bits and pieces. When we were watching her construct it, we were all very interested in the engineering logic going into the building, but I gotta say, it works like a dam. It's like
good.
Jurassic Park inside that place.
My cucumber plant, I think, has developed an intelligence.
I can't even get in through the door. The last time I went in, I think one of the squash plants wrapped itself around my ankle. It was like a Venus flytrap in there.
Yeah, it's rather large.
Yeah. But it has been providing all kinds of wonderful fresh veggies.
But I think my spaghetti squash and my cucumbers have cross-pollinated, and now I have a hybrid. It looks like a giant cucumber, but it's like 6 inches across.
Wow, that sounds painful.
It looks like it should be a spaghetti squash, but it's not quite the hourglass shape.
Uh-huh.
But it's green.
Mm-hmm. That's never good.
And stripy.
Is it ribbed?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for that.
Well, you're welcome. That's the...
Yeah, good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't plant your cucumbers too close to your spaghetti squashes.
The tomatoes, on another note, the tomatoes out on the balcony here of the studio are doing pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah, they're green still, but
Yeah.
I pulled one red one off a couple days ago.
Yeah. You can definitely feel the fall or the summer ending or the fall beginning out here at the lake. Yeah. Not a good time.
Some of the chat seems to have gotten trimmed. The top of the chat is gone.
Oh, yeah.
So I think some questions have disappeared.
Into the ether.
Into the ether, yeah. Most certainly. Let's see here. Da, 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 da.
Here I am going from drink to drink. From bubbly to water.
Oh, here's one. Question from 3-Card Monty.
Hey, 3-Card Monty.
What's the best way to take off polyurethane paint from a guitar? Heat gun or belt sander? Someone else suggested naphtha and a blowtorch.
Yeah, well,
But
one thing that would work for that is if you could find one of those construction sites where they're planing the asphalt off a road, just fire it in underneath that thing and it'll take it right off. I would go for something gently chemical, but I wouldn't use a belt sander on it for sure. And that can't even be a serious question.
I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe he's actually trying to get paint off a guitar.
I don't think a belt sander is going to give you the articulation and that you're going to need.
The finesse.
Yeah, the finesse. Not a tool of finesse.
Yes.
Yeah, may as well break out the grinder.
Here's a non-musical related question
Oh,
for both of us. I don't know if I have an answer for it, though. It's from Michael Easter.
hi, Michael. How are you tonight?
What aircraft is your dream plane if you won the lottery?
Ooh, like personal airplane?
I guess to own, yeah.
Oh.
I don't know how to...
I have two.
I want something that has a decent speed, but lots of cargo capacity
Mm-hmm.
to move people and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not interested in little,
Go fast.
like, doctor killers or anything.
Right. For the moving all your friends around on vacation and for fun trips, I'd take a caravan, a grand caravan.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I thought you might say that.
Yeah. Tons of room to take like 6 of your best friends and all kinds of gear if you were going to do a gig, or enough stuff like to do anything on a trip, camping or whatever. That the caravan's good. Turbine doesn't go incredibly fast, but it'll get you where you're going, and tough and reliable as hell and can go anywhere, eh?
Yeah, it's a summertime airplane. Not so great in the winter.
Yeah, I don't mind it in the winter. You just have to have your escape plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a go fast rig,
Yeah.
I would probably take like a T-38 Talon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A Northrop T-38. That would be my go fast dream airplane, because you can basically fit your flight bag and still take one person with you and get to where you're going pretty fast.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How about you? You got to have a go fast one that you like.
I don't know. I don't really know. I don't have a good answer. Although I do kind of like the RVs, the bigger RVs, like the 8s or the 10s.
Ooh, okay, that's interesting.
It's I've flown a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
Seen a couple others.
Yeah.
I do like them in general. I don't know if it would be the winner, but it's up there.
I don't know the bigger ones. We have a mutual friend who was building an RV for years and years and years with his father, who's an aircraft maintenance guy. And he recently sold it unfinished, just because life and flying for work got in the way. And that's the only RV I've had any close contact with.
I don't think I'd build it, but I'd be interested in maybe buying one.
Buying one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm generally not interested in owning anything that doesn't seat at least 6 people. Because to me, that would be the fun of even having an airplane like that. Being able to take some people with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean...
It's most of the fun.
Well, it's most of the fun, and we require all the support, like having a nurse with you, and because we're not getting any younger, and the crap we get up to, we're likely to get ourselves in trouble, and there's going to be injuries and stuff, so there is that. Yeah.
We have a super chat. A couple floating around here. One from Colin Ingram.
Hi, Colin. That's not new. Colin's
No.
not new.
No. He says, "Hey, Ginger and Chris, great job tonight." We'll debate that later.
Yeah, we'll debate that later.
JP's
We'll probably get slapped when JP comes back. For sure.
JP's stunt double looks dashing. Can't wait for JP to hit the stage, but it's been great watching tonight's show. Lots of love from Cape Breton. So I guess he's going to go see the show tonight. That's
Hey,
cool.
give him a patronizing little pat on the rump for us when you see him up there tonight. Yeah.
And Larry Rinders
Hey, Larry.
sent another super chat. Thanks,
Good to
Larry.
hear you.
What a fine job you two have done tonight. Love you guys.
Well, appreciate everybody's
Again.
support. We'll have the big man chained back in the seat there next week, so be able to answer all the important bits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, and Cam has put up a challenge.
Oh, yeah.
He says 13 likes with 114 watching. If it hits 100 in the next 3 minutes, I'll send a $100 super chat.
Oh.
Cam.
Well,
Thanks,
Cam
buddy.
Cam
Hopefully
disaster,
that,
ladies and gentlemen.
So can we get 100 likes? I don't know.
Always willing to up the ante, isn't he?
Let's see if I can like it. Oh, it's going up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we'll see. What happened?
Well, just like every week here on the Latest Man, It's getting near the top of the hour, which I can sense by my bubbly getting low.
Caleb Hawkins says, "Can we get a guitar tour video of JP's collection sometime?"
Ooh,
That's a good idea.
that is a good idea.
He's been thinking of doing a studio tour, like a setup, gear sort of tour video.
Yeah.
But I think a guitar tour might be a cool idea.
Yeah, it'll take a little setting up because they'd all have to be broken out of cases and lined up, and we'd have to do some shuffling around and cleaning up. But yeah, that is a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Faux
so.
show. And show you the hat room and the sneaker room and yeah.
Yeah, well, we could spend a lot of time in the sneaker room. The man has more shoes and jewelry than I do.
Yeah, more Super Bowl rings than the Super Bowl has.
Than Super Bowls he's ever played in, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Faux sure.
Let's see if I missed anybody's questions. Like I said, guys, some of the questions got deleted from the chat because there's just so many comments.
And our little technical difficulty there.
Yeah, the little difficulty kind of sent things into a bit of a spin, but
yeah.
I saw a question, I can't quite find it now, but it was about how difficult is it to get a K&K into a classical guitar?
No more difficult than any other guitar, and it's if you're going to put a pickup in a classical guitar like that, K&K is ideal because it literally has such a small footprint and absolutely will not change the tone or the character of the guitar if it's put in correctly, because there's just the three little piezo elements that go in. They're smaller than some of the other similar piezo pickups in size, and the only modification to the guitar you have to do is drill a hole through the tail of the guitar to put the cabinet jack in. But they're all designed to handle that, and that doesn't change the sound of the guitar. So K&K would be ideal. I make a note over there, Ginger.
Oh, Cam's doing a countdown for his challenge. And I don't know if we're gonna. Let's see what we're at here.
I think he probably made his challenge pretty safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
only 109. So we're only up to 60 likes.
Oh, we'll see.
61. It was
You're
a good
safe
run.
there, Cam.
Yeah.
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 I guess, Ginger, that just tells us that they didn't really like us all that much.
We're just not good enough for them.
Yeah. Look at the time, Ginger.
Is it time?
I think we've made them suffer enough. It's 8 bells.
All right.
So, do you have the walkout music?
I don't have the.
No? Here.
Here, play them crickets again.
Yeah. There.
And then just walk away.
There you go. Well, hey everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate the support. JP certainly appreciates the support. We'll have him back in the chair next week, and we'll resume our normal programming schedule at that point. You know, I'm looking right at you. I know what you look like. I don't know what the big deal is that nobody else knows what you look like.
I like to keep the mystery and the enigma wrapped around myself.
the enigma wrapped in a ginger.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody take care. Have a great week, and we'll see you all next Wednesday night.
Yes.
All right. We'll just leave you with a little walkout music.